So, guys, here's the next question. When you die, do you take your memories with you? Do you remember feeling separate from God? Do you continue feeling separate? Feeling being separate? If you remember feeling separate, is that enough to live in the afterlife feeling love all the time? It's, first of all, let me just say, I don't know. I can only give you my thought, what I believe about this, but, I have gone to the other side a couple times, but I have no idea of the permanence of being on the other side. I have no idea of any of those. The second time I went, it was very brief, and I was there, and I was told I wasn't supposed to be there yet, and I was pushed back. The first time I remember being there was in my regression when Jeshua touched me on the chest, and I left my body and I went out. But let me just go down and break through all these things a couple of times. Do you take your memories with you? It's a great question. I believe wholeheartedly that when you go to the other side, you have not only the memories of you, but the memories of all the people you interacted with, and the memories of everyone. And because you're going back into the oneness of God with where we all reside. And so you are coming back in and understanding the experience you had in life, understanding your separation, understanding the whole bit, understanding all the lessons, but without the fears and anxieties, because you're in perfect love. And so you went over there and you're now looking at your experiences, which is why people have the experience of the life review, because they're going back into the oneness of God. Because if you remember correctly, when they talk about the life review, they say that they review their life from their perspective, but they also see it from the people they interacted with. So they're actually tapping into the oneness of the people they interacted with. Why do we do that? We do that so that we can experience love from all angles and all facets. God is love, and we come to this experience to feel our separation, to feel the illusion of separation. And we're not really ever separate, because God is at the bottom of every breath in the physical world. The thing that makes us feel separate alone is us getting into our heads about things. I often say the Adam and Eve story is based upon them eating from the tree of knowledge, and then they got into their head and out of their heart. And it's the same with this. It's like we go across and we experience the feelings that people have gone through. That's what they say in those life reviews, is they understand how the other person felt. Right? It's the feeling, right? They understood how the person that you were dealing with felt loved or unloved, and you got to experience love from that angle. So to me, that's a huge thing. Do you remember feeling separate from God? You would remember the experience. I would think you would totally remember the experience. I don't think you get it's not amnesia. In fact, I believe you become more fully aware and more fully understand what exactly your divinity. And I think that when you come here is where the veil gets put around you. You can't see. I don't think you go to the other side and can't see. I think you go to the other side and you see perfectly clearly. And I think that's kind of the key to it all. Is that enough to live in the afterlife feeling love all the time? This question is based around the idea that you don't like being here. That's what this question is. Is you want to stay on the other side and feel love all the time, and that's what you're asking here, and it's an interesting question. Over time, you would get bored. People say, "Well, how can you get bored with being in love all the time?" Well, unless you had something to measure against, you can't experience love. You have to have the contrast to understand love, to feel love. Because if you don't feel the contrast, then you can't feel love. You have to feel the opposite. In physical science, they would call it a baseline. You have to have something to measure against so that you know what you're experiencing. And it's the same thing in love, and the same thing in God, and the same thing in crossing over. You have to come here to experience. But the thing is, our natural state is there. It's not here. We come here because over there we weren't experiencing. It was almost like stagnation in love over there. You're not experiencing love because you have nothing to experience it against. And so it's kind of an interesting point. But your question kind of implies that you want to stay in the afterlife all the time. And I would say I love my experiences here now, especially as a conscious creator. I get to have joyful, loving moments every day. Every day. You know why? Because I love my life and I love my world first and I love every aspect. And I told that story a long time ago about the person asking me why cars merge easily with me on the highway. My response was, because I love driving. Well, love in any form is not wrong, and love in any form is God, and in what you love, you will experience more love. The problem is people fall in love with their fears and their anxieties. They start wrapping themselves in a velvet cage where they say, okay, I understand that if I do this, I'll get hurt. And the reality of it is you can open the door and fly from that cage at any given moment, but you have to be willing to go, okay, I am being love. I am loving one another. I am doing this. Instead of going, okay, I'm afraid to talk to this homeless man because he may hurt me. No. I am giving him $5. I am bringing him a meal. I am doing something loving. I am doing something without fear, without anxiety. And because I love driving, cars merge easily with me. Cars merge easily with me. I love driving, so driving gives me something to love it for. And I love doing videos. So videos give me something to love it for. I love doing these videos for you guys. I love it. I enjoy it. I feel so empowered by it. And so you guys, I get beautiful comments every day from you guys, and it's so I'm so grateful for that. But it's just more proof to me. As I love this, you guys have shown me love in return, and I appreciate that. So I guess my point is, love being here, love experiencing and doing it. And then you will love when you go back to the other side and say, look at all the good things I did. Look at all the things that I loved. Look at all the things how that person felt when they dealt with me. Look at that. That's important. That's an important element of who you are. It's also the key element to how you experience who you are. And so that's my thought on that. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.